Okay, thanks very much. James Hodgkinson from the University of Birmingham. This is a collaborative piece of work between the University of Birmingham and the University of Oxford. The first, as we found out in the hypertension sessions, quite a few of those earlier on today. The first slide really is just a series of thank yous, including thank you for having me to SAPC. So the research question I'd like to talk about today is what is the optimal schedule for self-monitoring of blood pressure? I'm going to take the argument in favour of self-monitoring of blood pressure for granted, but the issue that what I'd like to discuss is what's the best way of patients actually going about that? Because what's involved in patients measuring their own blood pressure? They've got to think about how many measurements to take, how many days to do monitoring, what time of day, is it best in the morning or evening, do you need both, how long to rest for between measurements, whether any readings need to be discarded in working out a good value. So do you need to discard the first day's set of readings? David Noonan's presentation in the hypertension session this morning considered this. So those are the issues in terms of what is involved in the schedule, how do you work out what the optimal one is, where we look at two types of studies. One is prediction of future cardiovascular events, so prognostic studies, and one is reliability and reproducibility studies that look at the best estimation of true underlying blood pressure, ideally with a comparison to a gold standard such as ambulatory blood pressure measurement. What this systematic review actually is an update of NICE systematic review that came out in the CJ 127 hypertension guidance. So we've updated it by going back to 2009 all the way up till April 2015. We've included the papers that were included in the NICE study ones as well. If you see, probably the reason why I'm at the elevator pitch rather than in the hypertension session earlier is because we're still going through the update search. So although we've data extracted a number of these studies, we haven't data extracted the latest ones from the update search, so it's ongoing research. And then the final analysis, we've got, at the moment, it's 8 prognostic studies and 14 reliability and reproducibility ones. With less than a minute to go, there isn't really time to go through the individual features of the recommendations. Just to say sort of two things in terms of the evidence so far. There's no reason to throw the baby out with the bathwater, no reason to reject the NICE guidance, but it's only providing a partial endorsement. We have concerns about the methodological quality of some of the studies that we're looking at. There's also kind of differences in terms of the variability, so some of these standard deviations are quite high. And some of them, you can see the ranges are quite extensive as well between the minimum and maximum. We're now trying to do a more sophisticated analysis, which is what this thing at the bottom is. It's looking at study-specific curves for hazard ratios, and this one is just look at number of days. You can see that increasing from 1 to 3 days improves prognostic power, but then it sort of seems to tail off after that, diminishing returns, and I'll stop there.
Thank you very much.
What are the reasons for discarding measurements?
Discarding, the argument in favour of discarding the first day's worth of readings is that they're often higher than subsequent days of readings. And there's also a debate about whether you need to discard the first one and say if you take 3 in 5 minutes, do you need to discard the first one? Again, there's differences of opinions about that. And again, that's because the first one's higher.
Nira?
Yes, thanks, Nira. Are there ever concerns about people measuring blood pressure too often during the day?
I mean, in terms of possibly leading to them becoming over anxious, then certainly that's true. In terms of what we're looking at here is kind of the best possible statistical value, so you can never have too many measures. But yes, for the patient, what we really want is to get the patient to monitor as little as often whilst providing a decent result at the end of it, a reliable and valid result at the end of it.
Okay, it's time for a very quick one. If anyone's got a quick one. Quite a lot of difference on that last graph between those three different kind of studies, James. Any thoughts as to why?
Yes, I haven't really had time to go into it, but there's quite a lot of heterogeneity between the different studies. I mean, we're talking about 13 different countries. There's big variety in terms of the age groups gone into it, big variations in terms of the proportion of people that are hypertensive in it, which I think are probably one of the most important ones. Big differences even in gender as well.
Great, time's up. Thank you very much.